Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Mindful Road to the Illuminati. This is vlog number 24, and today we are on D-Day, the day that I finally get my court case revised, and if I'm lucky I will get released with conditions and to uphold my responsibilities and the set of ordinance that they have prescribed for me. It's going to be a tough day because it is later in the afternoon and time has been literally going backwards, which usually flies by. But it's all relevant to your perception of time. And when you don't take an account of it, well, time does fly actually, and the more you do nothing, the more time stretches and goes over, and about how slow it is. Well, anyways, uh, I went to bed last night pretty wired and felt there's this energy over me that was kind of humbling because it's only some prestige energy like that that's just heartfelt throughout the whole body, and to be engulfed in it was just surreal. And I was vividly awake. So uh, as I was turning to sleep this morning, a couple of times I went into these subconscious realms that were consciously driven by my subconscious, so to speak, and I felt more and more myself in those depths. But again, I have to master the craft of REM sleeping. And also my doctor, we talked yesterday, we had a lot of bantering going on, and he did tell me that he doesn't feel like I am somebody that is suffering from schizophrenia. I just embrace other people's reality as my own to see how their reality can actually change mine in any way, shape, or form. And negative outcomes after negative outcomes, it's time to make a change. So I will not be telling those entities or those that have absolutely no business being here to get the F out. They usually do. And my head has been in complete serenity for a few months now, several months actually. I don't even know what time of the month it is. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's the 22nd. There. But, for all things said, I feel that if you emphasize who you are and what you do, it can actually discredit you, because the way you express yourself is the way that people take it to the bank. And if you're not very articulate and very particular about word choosing and word patterning, well, don't take some mentions into an account, and just try to take your time when explaining something that is difficult to explain, like mental health and all that stuff. We tend to believe that we're not affected by it, but if you're burned out at work, if you're suffering from domestic violence, if you go in bits of rage, if you start getting road rage or something like that, it all comes down to the boiling point where your mental health is to be questioned, and not your sanity, just your mental health. If you can have a one-up leg on it before it happens, let the little things go, let everything go, and then come back to it later. And don't ever go to sleep when you're tired. So I'm going to reread a passage. Reread. I don't have any scripts, but I'm going to dictate one of my passages, my favorite astral projections that was brought in by somebody that was familiar, very ancient, under the scorched sun of the mosaic earth. It was dry, there was light fog on the ground. I then proceeded to move forward, and then I came to this holy table. It was round, of course, but it was felt with, some sort of distinguished je ne sais quoi. Like I was very familiarized with them, and they knew exactly who I was. And the thing was, is if these are conscious beings, you know, in the real physical realm as we are all in, well, what is it to say that if I can do it, we can't do it, and together we connect through it? And that's what I'm saying. If I'm not the only one that is capable of having those types of dreams, well, how about them choosing my life if it existed not as a paradise, but as a place where I keep balance and I keep those in check and needed to be in check, and in the process I can make the enlightenment movement, make something of it, get some firm footings, and hold my ground as much as I can, because let's just say in the near future, where my bankroll budget a challenge is simulated and my living quarters are minorly upgraded, you know, what isn't to stop me from reaching the sky? Because if I shoot for the stars, I'll fall back and hit the moon, rather than, you know, just aim for mediocrity and then just fire off. But back to the astral dreams, there was just one in particular. They were dragons, and they were ancient dragons, like older than the dinosaurs we were there for, and they spoke to me in this resonance. It was just absolutely just mind-blowing to be able to comprehend it in the state I was in. I was way in a deep sleep, and I remember everything. I remember everything, the smell, the thing, and that was one of my very first astral projections that was bestowed onto me. And then there was other ones where I was conscious and I just sat down on the floor and basically lifted my wings as a phoenix that rose from the ashes, and built compartments for each of my birds and waited for them until we went to ancient Egypt, and where I followed the scarab. And then when I followed the scarab, there was these tombs lined up one after the other, and there were 6 in total. And I on both 2 rows, and the first row started going red, and then they were all black on gold plating, and the first 3 became red, and then the second one became red, then the third one became red, and then all of a sudden I woke up and I felt like my leg was getting hollowed out or something like that. It was weird, but you know, and in all fairness, I remember seeing those swirly eyes of the emoji that you used to say that you're hypnotized or something. Well, the thing is when I came back to reality, when I woke up, the thing was, it wasn't my first time going to ancient Egypt. It was one of my several first planes of consciously working. And what made me irritated is if I would have completed all those headstones, so to speak, they would have been in control of me. And then if I have too much control over myself, then who's to take it from it, so to speak? It's a very mysterious world, but I know we're not alone, and I know that we cross paths in those realms, and when we're in the same frequency and height range and everything else, and the depth of it, well, there's no contrast. Or if there isn't, then there is. You know, it's always what is isn't what isn't is. And you feel like I'm rambling on, but maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But the thing is when we focus our energy to connect to these people in those realms, and then you alter somebody else's REM state by consciously changing the background or some contrast lighting or any type of subjective right or left opportunities arise. It's like playing a video game with your own self in La La Land, and the more you play, the more you unlock with time and effort. So that is being said at the time and present where I'm putting a lot of effort into these videos, and I am really getting it dialed down to the point that I need to get upgraded equipment to pursue some of the editing things I want to do. I want to film I want to film my day to day more as an episode of first person viewer, and less rambling and me doing nothing than just talking. It kind of is rambling on, but and then add some nice sceneries and add some nice portraits, video editing, and other things that sound biting, and to be able to play with sound lines would be something else. Oh, I got an idea for you guys today. If you guys are listening all the way through this, you deserve it. It's a VR for pre-med students, where it's kind of like the game Operation, where you have a little stick and you go through the edges, and if you hit the borders then you buzz. Well, this is an actual VR of VR instruments and VR lifelike simulation of operations. Or if you don't know what you want to specifically become after pre-med, you become general doctor, surgeon, neuroplastic surgeon, or whatever. And I'm tired, but that's no excuse. Then if these surgeons have can practice their livelihood in the future to say, okay, I actually like surgery, or I want to become an open heart surgeon. Well, what's best to practice on a virtual reality, which is virtually real, and then you have the sensation where it doesn't become real, but then those can be enhanced with other means, with septical inversion. And if you think of it, you can just swallow a device where those senses come to you in real time, just by added chemicals into your brain that will mimic those same exact sensations you feel and the adrenaline that you get from saving a life. So this was me for vlog 23, guys. I appreciate you listening this long, and I will come back to you guys pretty soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and peace out.